All right, today in adulting, I learned the life lesson that traffic court is a scam. Now, the judge was cool. The clerk was cool. The cop who pulled me over, on the other hand, pardon me, I need to talk to my people for a second. Latino cop, election night, around the time the election results started getting real one sided. Do the math and come to what conclusions you may. But the crazy part is he technically didn't even pull me over. It was me and another car in the middle lane going ahead of me, and I was already slowing down. And then I saw him and he cut his lights on before I even passed by, so I didn't know who he was actually flagging. I just pulled over into the side street in case it was me. I didn't want to actually go into the zone and then be pulled over and then have an even bigger problem. Well, he talks my head off for about 10 minutes, asking what I'm doing, where I'm going, why I'm out this late, where I'm headed, XYZ, and then ends it all. Well, I still got to get his citation. Like, bro, you could have just started with that. Don't sit here and try to chop it up with me like we're friends and force all these personal questions and then hit me at the end with, well, still got to do my job. Bitch, follow me long enough and know my history with Ocoee PD and how they used to F with me a lot. You know, I always get some kind of evidence of the incident. But he said I was speeding. By the way, I was going 75 in an area that was 65, but hadn't actually reached the area that was 65 yet. He pulled me up. Well, when I pulled myself over, he told me, yeah, the GPS is wrong. I've been having to correct people on that all night. So I tell him, that kind of sounds like a bigger issue than if y'all don't even have a roadwork begin sign back there or a posted speed limit, and the only place I can see a speed limit is ahead of where I'm being stopped right now, which I technically haven't even crossed, or technically even crossed into to be a violator yet. This is where I got stopped. He got me on speeding with workers present. With workers present. Also, I bounce back and forth between here and Florida, and that's where my registration's at. And I very much hate the "you ain't from here" speech they always give you about here's all the things you could do to fight this ticket, but because you're not a local, you're SOL. Called the courthouse, spoke to the clerk to see what my options are, basically tells me the same thing. Again, I don't know the legality of all this. I'm just telling it to y'all as it was told to me. Like I said, judge was cool. She gave me a deferment, which means I stay out of trouble for 30 days and all this goes away. The clerk tells me, yeah, I figured she was going to give you that option. I just couldn't go over it with you on the phone because when he wrote workers present, my hands pretty much became tied at that point. So then I was good to go. $400 in court fees later, which then raises the question, what would happen to places like this if everyone just behaved and nobody had to come in here for tickets because they didn't get them? Answers to be obtained for another day. Only thing I couldn't figure out was how I even missed the start of the construction zone because usually you'll see that and then they'll surprise you with the speed limit later. I slowed down ahead of time just to avoid this very scenario, and I'm trying to figure out how I missed the initial sign so that this didn't happen. Yo, when I drove by today, I realized how I missed it. The sign is bent and damn near facing the opposite side of traffic. I'm already doing the speed limit, but this, which would have been my warning to slow down just in case it drops even further, yeah, I didn't see this, especially not in the dead of night. I know these are trying times we live in, but take the red state, blue state argument out of it. Dallas does not deserve new residents for at least 10 years. Because damn near the whole city is becoming a construction zone. And in my 4 years in and out of here, I think I've seen them create more construction zones than they have created actual constructions. And if you see a sign that says construction zone ends, you got about 10 tire rotations and you're going to be right back into another one. So not only is every day out here basically you playing a game of traffic Tetris, but you also got to risk getting a double whammy on the fine should you get pulled over. And I know people talk about taxes and cost of living, bruh, but 10 years. This city does not deserve new tax-paying residents in it for at least a decade till they figure out the rest of this. I don't even think they're building anything. I think they're just like blocking roads to create more angry drivers and then call in more citations, and then the cycle continues. But my insurance ain't going up, so today's a win, I guess.